Today we're talking about surveys and boundary disputes and what you may or may not know. It's a very interesting topic that we haven't yet covered, surprisingly, on the show.
That is surprising. But, there's good reason for it, I think, because you don't typically do those things. You don't do surveys all too often at closings.
No, not in
Rhode Island or in Massachusetts.
Why?
The bottom line really is that a lot of these properties have, the plats have been in existence for many, many years. If there was a dispute, it would have come out a long time ago. And also lenders typically don't. They get coverage, affirmative coverage through an endorsement on their lender's policy, the lender's title insurance policy. So if they get coverage over survey matters, they're not compelling the borrower. Buyer to get a survey done at closing, and if they're not asking for that, and these properties again have been, platted and have been in existence for many, many, many years, there's the likelihood of there being a dispute, is pretty slim, but it does happen, The reason why we do surveys and they are important, even up here, is first of all, it's an engineer's report. It's a drawing that's done, by, you've probably seen these guys on the side of the road with their instruments, and they're measuring out the exact dimensions of the property that they're looking to, put a sidewalk in or whatever the improvement may be. And so these same people would do a measurement of your property, the boundary lines of your property. And so the reason why you do a survey is because you want to make sure that, that you know what the exact boundary lines of your property are, and B, that if you're, let's say you're making an improvement, you're putting up a fence, you're building a pool, you're making an extension on your home. You want to make sure that this improvement is done right on that, within the boundaries of your property. Okay.
Oh, absolutely.
So because if you're encroaching, which means that your improvement extends into the neighbor's property,
no good.
That's definitely no good, and it results in a lot of additional expense, unnecessary expense that you really you don't want to open yourself up to.
If not to mention, they can actually make you take down that improvement.
That's right.
Talk about a crazy expense.
That's right. You see it a lot with fences. I mean, fences, people think, okay, it's not a big deal. Let me just put up a fence. But keep in mind that if you don't put the fence up, well, first of all, you need to put the fence up with a survey. That's what I mean. With a permit rather.
Yes.
Okay, so the building department won't let you put up a fence without a permit, and it doesn't make a difference where you are. I mean, they do that on purpose to make sure that the improvement is put on your property, not on the neighbor's. So this is the engineer's report that the local town or city asks for. Okay, and so when this improvement is done with a permit, okay, then you rest assured that it's done correctly. What typically happens here is that because it's not done all that often, the survey is kind of rarely done. I mean, then the cost is much more expensive. It can run on a standard lot size anywhere from $1,000 to $2,500.
Yeah, I've seen it.
Yeah, you've seen it.
Yep.
So it really can be very, very expensive, and the reason why is just because it's just flat out not done, all that often. If the property's been platted for a long time and lenders don't require the borrower to get the survey, then the surveys aren't done. That doesn't mean that it's not important. I think it is important to know where your property begins and ends, and you don't want to run into a dispute with your neighbor, and it does happen. It happens all the time. And so what we do here, instead of doing a plot plan, instead of doing a survey, is we do a plot plan. And what that is kind of like a glorified drawing. It's based upon a visual inspection. It's not based upon any mechanical instrument measurement, of your boundary lines. And so it's not something that you can rely on if let's say you had a boundary dispute with your neighbor and bring that to court.
It's not exact.
No, it's not exact. It's just like you do, doing a drive-by your property, taking a quick look, and then you draw what you've saw, based upon a recollection. So it's not accurate.
It sounds so funny, but like Ted just said, though, the lines, the boundaries have been there for so long where we don't have to keep measuring. Measuring. So it makes sense. We have these plat maps, and we go by those.
And we go by those. I mean, the plat map is either recorded in the public records, or you use the assessor's plat map, and that's basically the same exact information that would be on a plot plan. Yeah, these surveys. Oh, they are. I mean, they're engineers, so they're determining what the exact boundary lines are.
Yeah.
They'll show fences that are put up on the property. They'll show
a post
a post. It could be a marker, some kind of a marker like a rock.
Yeah.
Or a who knows what, like a tree. You see those kind of things.
Anything permanent or semi-permanent.
Anything that's permanent or as close to permanent as possible.
Yeah.
Yep. And so that's usually what they'll use as a marker to draw out an instrument survey. So getting to the boundary line disputes, I mean, if in order to send out a letter, to your neighbor, where you believe that, the neighbor is encroaching or not allowing you access to your property, what you believe or perceive to be your property, you have to do a survey. You got to do a survey, because that's the only document that will legally be upheld in court as evidence, that the encroachment or the lack of access is taking place. You can't do it based upon a plot plan or based upon what you believe is the case. So, before you even consider hiring an attorney, you really need to first evaluate, and the way you evaluate is really just by doing a survey.
If you need a surveyor, we've used a few in the past. Check us out, theroundtableradio.com. Go to the contact section. We don't have any that's on the show, but we can refer some that we've used in the past to you.
Yep.
And then if you need to take it from there and dispute it, Ted, is that something you can help them with?
Yeah, I can definitely help and guide them with it. Yep.
Okay, awesome. Great. Yeah. And Ted, if somebody wants to reach you for any kind of real estate legal matters, what's the best phone number to reach you at?
The best phone number would probably be the 401-533-9888. That's a line to the office, and I don't have a direct line, but that I'm readily accessible.
Absolutely. And you can also, again, go to theroundtableradio.com, click the contact section, and we'll make sure we email your question directly to Ted himself. So